Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new day of Road to TCG Worlds 2016. Now this new Toolbox deck has definitely been very interesting to use so far. We beat pretty easily to Vileplume Vespiquen decks, which are usually decks you don't enjoy facing like overall in the metagame because they limit you so much in what you can do, especially if they manage to pull off a turn 1 Vileplume. And then we lost to a really fun Aegislash deck, which I genuinely would like to maybe try it out eventually. I think it would be really fun. And yeah, as you can see, my name has now been changed to Demo Tablemon, so at least people will be able to recognize me from now on. And yeah, let's see what today's match has in store for us. We will be playing only 2 games today, as is the usual rule, unless they're really close matches. And look, we are actually, looks like we might be up against Vespiquen Vileplume. Well, it's actually extremely likely that we are up against Vespiquen Vileplume. So my opponent gets a pretty decent start. Already the float zone on the Oddish, an unknown bench, tag compressor, so if he gets the turn 1 Vileplume, we will definitely be in trouble. But as we've seen before, we could potentially simply win outright if we do manage to get a Glaceon. And I mean, if we manage to get Glaceon, my opponent does have the opportunity to Sky Return forever and ever. But there is the decking out option as well, so that's something you definitely need to consider. So my opponent plays a Revitalizer. I'm assuming he has the Stadium yet, or already rather. He got rid of a Gloom and a Vileplume, but he decides to pick up a Compressor. It'll be interesting to see what kind of supporter he does use. The UK national champion ran a variety of supporters such as Misty's Determination, Lysander, and Judge in his Vespiquen Vileplume list. I know other lists run a heavier AC count, or rather 2 instead of just the 1, and also things like Puzzle of Time, because if you pick up Vileplume then you are free to use those Puzzle of Times. And a lot of the time your hand does get quite stacked with a lot of useful item cards that you're not able to use because you have Vileplume in play. But with the extra AC you can definitely pull off some good combos here and there with that. And yeah, there's the Shaman. So Vespiquen Vileplume decks usually take a very long time during their first turn. And yeah, let's see what else my opponent can pull off here. He does get the Stadium, he does get the Combi, and looks like he will be able to pull off the Vileplume, I'm guessing. A Vespiquen in the discard pile is nothing too important. He does attach to Combi and he does opt to go for the Vileplume. So he does Sycamore away everything. He won't have the ability to use item cards afterwards, but that means our Ultra Ball is completely useless. I mean, I could attach an energy, but that's not something I really want to do right now. My opponent has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Pokemon in the discard pile, so he will be able to definitely 2-hit KO Jolteon EX. He doesn't have the Vespiquen rather yet, and he actually opts to retreat for Shaman. So we really can't do too much because we are under item lock. I'm actually not gonna attach to Jolteon. My main goal is to power up something else, hopefully a Glaceon, but unfortunately I do not get the Glaceon, so I might yeah, I'm gonna play the Shaman just because I'm hoping to hit the Glaceon and that I can attach an energy to it. But nope, no deal there. So whom do I attach to? Okay, I can attach to Mew in preparation for Glaceon, so it's not a completely lost cause. but it's definitely not ideal. I would love to be drawing Sycamore instead of N at this point in time, especially because my opponent hasn't drawn any prize cards just yet. He did apparently top deck the Vespiquen, but at least he will be forced to attack with Shaman if he wants to do anything right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So even after the 30 damage from Sky Return, he will not be able to do it KO Jolteon. It will require 3 attacks because he has the Shaman active, unless he decides to attach a DCE and retreat the Shaman. That's definitely another option. But yeah, very interesting that we're seeing a lot of Vespiquen Vileplume decks right now, at least online. And yeah, let's see what else my opponent can do here. He's taking his sweet time. I don't know what he might have in his hand. Maybe he's considering using the AC to try and attack with Vespiquen. But no, he simply passes. So I'm gonna attach an energy to Mew. Going to use an N once again. You never know if we're gonna get my opponent stuck with something, but I mean, I can counter Stadium, but what use is that? Really nothing too useful. So I'm just gonna pass here. I mean, there's really nothing I can do. There's really nothing I can do. My opponent does get the DCE. He will be able to finally get that Shaman away from the active spot and do some damage, I guess. He opts to use the unknowns now. There's Bunnelby, so decking out might be out of the question because of that Bunnelby. Although I can simply, I mean, if I manage to keep attacking with, well, he actually opts to promote Bunnelby, so I'm gonna take this opportunity. I'm gonna attach to a bench Jolteon just because who knows what my opponent might try and pull off, and I'm gonna deal 30 damage. And maybe I can do it KO Bunnelby, maybe I can find a Glaceon from my prize cards. And we'll see. We shall see. Okay. I don't know what my opponent was considering doing with that Bunnelby play. Maybe try and deck me out or run me out of resources. Definitely an option, but I mean, worst case scenario, I could have used Sky Return. He does decide to attach to Bunnelby, so maybe he'll retreat here. No, he just decides to burrow and discard a Max Elixir, not an issue. And hopefully not a Glaceon. He might be doing me a favor, actually, by... I mean, my top deck, yeah, he does return a Sycamore. My top deck would have been the Max Elixir, so that only puts me one card closer to the next Sycamore. So I'm just gonna Swift here. Vespiquen is still going to do it KO Jolteon. I do manage to grab one prize here, useless Fighting Fury Belt. So now we are kind of pressured a bit because of the Vespiquen to hit KOing both Jolteons. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, he's dealing 120 damage. Psychic's Third Eye. Okay, wow, that's a really good card actually for Vileplume Vespiquen. Discards as many cards as he wants, draws that many cards, and he could simply discard all the useless Pokemon or item cards he has in his hand. So with that, he will be able to 1-KO Jolteon. So we are in a timer now. We literally only have 2 turns to top deck a Glaceon and an energy. Well, I do have the Stadium, but we have 2 turns to top deck a Glaceon somehow, or get ourselves closer to Glaceon. So I guess in the other Vileplume Vespiquen matches we played in the previous videos, or in Monday's video rather, we were very fortunate that we managed to go first, so we were able to use Ultra Balls and things like that. If you get that one turn against Vespiquen Vileplume, it really should be an easy matchup. But as you can see from this game, if you actually... Wow, he discarded a ton of cards. If you actually whiff on, or rather your opponent gets a turn 1 Vileplume, then you're really hard pressed to really get anything going. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Wow, so still not enough Pokemon to one-hit KO Jolteon. That's great. That only makes it even more likely that we can find Glaceon. And because of the Shaman threat, we definitely need to power up an actual Glaceon EX instead of simply attacking with Mew, because Mew will be 3-hit KO'd by Shaman. And yeah, he's gonna opt to attack with Shaman because he cannot 1 KO us. 1, 2, yeah, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so now actually he has 14 damage. He can deal 140 damage, so now he can actually 1 KO Jolteon. So the 30 damage of Vileplume is not really too representative, I guess. Just to conserve the energy, I'm gonna let him have the Jolteon, the other Jolteon, and I'm gonna pass here. And like I said, we are on a clock. We are definitely on a clock. It comes down to, can we find the Glaceon or not? If we can find it, we will win. I'm pretty sure we will win. But if we can't, well, now my opponent is outright misplaying because he deals 140 damage. He can KO me with Jolteon. I guess he's afraid of the Mew retaliation. But I cannot copy any attack to KO him, so maybe he's not. I don't know. But hey, even better for me. If he attacks with Shaman instead, and he actually Sycamores, wow. Maybe he's trying to find a Lysander, but if he attacks with Shaman, that would be incredibly awesome for us. There's 2 Vespiquens in the discard pile, the Bunnelby's in the discard pile, so he actually only has access to 1 more Vespiquen. And there's already 2 Stadiums in the discard pile. So I'm actually going to start countering Stadium right now. Okay, there's finally a Sycamore, so that's pretty great. If I find a Glaceon here, we should be golden, but it's not too likely yet. It really isn't too likely. And there you go, no Glaceon for us. So now we only have 1 turn left, and because of our current hand, we actually cannot even we can't even Sycamore. Once again, we didn't draw another Sycamore, so that just means we will have to AC for like 1 or 2 cards and hope to hit the Glaceon in the next 2 or 3 cards. Otherwise, or the Hoopa could also work. Hoopa could definitely also work. There's 160 clean KO on Jolteon. And yeah, it comes down to this turn. Can we? And if he has Lysander. If he has Lysander, then that's game. But we top deck a useless card. I'm gonna attach to Shaman, that way I discard the energy. And I'm gonna Sycamore for 1, or rather Shaman for 1. And if it's not Glaceon or Hoopa, we are done for. And it's not. So nothing I could do here, guys. I'm gonna concede. I couldn't find the Glaceon. It was inside one of the last 26 cards in the deck, or in my prices. Odds were not in our favor, but I think we could have done a bit better with the supporters, maybe at some point. Would have been really nice, but we are now 2-1 against Vespiquen Vileplume, in the Vespiquen Vileplume matchup rather. So yeah, it's obviously not a guaranteed win. One of the strengths of the Vileplume Vespiquen deck is that a turn 1 Vileplume going first is absolutely or humongously powerful in stopping your opponent from pretty much carrying out their strategy for their plan for the game, and you can sometimes outright win games just by that. And for example, in the last regional I played, I did use Vespiquen and Vileplume, and that meant there's Glaceon, very nice. I did play, but I'm pretty sure we are up against Night March right now. I did play Vespiquen and Vileplume, and I faced off against two Aegis/EX decks, and I had no response to Aegis/EX, which meant that, wow, it's actually Raikou, or Manectric, never mind. This is going to be a really big problem, because he has access to the Mega, and then he also has access to the regular Manectric and Raikou, so we're gonna have to alternate between Glaceon and Jolteon, and there's no way. I mean, my opponent can easily adapt to whatever he needs to attack with, and he's actually using Garbodor as well. Wow. So this could be a really problematic matchup. But as I was saying, I did face against two Aegis/EX decks with no response to beating them. I had no way to touch an Aegis/ deck, no way at all. But I did manage to win one game simply because I got the turn 1 Vileplume, and my opponent did not start Aegis/, which meant oh man, this Manectric is gonna be an issue. I mean, I will be able to Quaking Punch, but I don't think that will be enough to win me the match. I did manage to win one game simply because of the fact that, wow. Well, he will get a KO most likely. So it's not the end of the world if I cannot bench. And if I bench Glaceon, maybe he'll think twice about evolving into Mega Manectric. I will attach the energy, the yellow energy. And yeah, I managed to win because he didn't get a basic that was Aegis/. I got the turn 1 Vileplume, and that was enough to outright win the game. But in the other two games, he went first, so he was able to use an Ultra Ball, and all he had to do was Ultra Ball for game, pretty much. So, Manectric is an issue. I guess, nope. There's no easy way around this. Can I attach the Fighting Fury Belt to the active to Glaceon? I kind of want to Sycamore, but I feel like I have too many resources. So I'm actually just gonna Quaking Punch here to prevent any item cards from my opponent. I didn't notice he missed a Max Elixir, which is really good. And I mean, yeah, in an ideal world, he wouldn't have the Mega and the energy right away. At least he won't be attaching energy. And I guess, yeah, I should have benched the Jolteon. Okay, he actually opts to Lysander and KO the Shaman. I don't mind that too much, because he's not going to power up anything, but he will have access to item cards. He does draw 2 prizes. I will be able to attack with Glaceon EX's Crystal Ray to prevent my Mew from getting KO'd, which is nice. I'm going to, but top decking another stadium is definitely worst case scenario here. Definitely worst case scenario. So I do get 2 Max Elixirs. That's really nice. I whiff the first one. Hopefully I get some better luck with the second one. I really need to get some energy advantage here. And there's the energy. I wonder if I should attach to Glaceon or to Jolteon. I guess Jolteon? Well, maybe Mew. Maybe Mew is the better play. Yeah, I'm gonna attach to Mew. And I'm gonna keep the Fighting Fury Belt in my hand, because he might... Well, actually, never mind. I'm not even I'm gonna 3-hit KO Manectric anyways. Yeah. Never mind. Yeah, I'm gonna keep it in my hand because I'm gonna 3-hit KO anyway, so I'm just gonna Crystal Ray. The damage output at this point doesn't really matter too much. He is now free to use trainers, so if he finds a compressor or some Ultra Balls, he can start powering up. There's the compressor. And yeah. The biggest issue right now, well, I mean, he will power up the Manectric or the Raikou. If he powers up Raikou, that's better for us. He does bench. Oh, man, this guy has everything without supporters. He's gonna clean Sycamore. Oh. Damn, that must be really nice. That must be really nice. He even has a counter stadium. Man. And I had to discard 2 with my Sycamore. I cannot get a clean Sycamore. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this game is completely lost, guys. I don't see a way for us to come back in this because my opponent just had the perfect hand. I mean, yeah, he won't damage me, but he will power up Raikou or potentially the other Mega Manectric. Once he gets Garbodor out, he will be able to... Yep, there's the energy on Raikou. He will be able to prevent Mew from working even. Yeah, I don't know. I'm having a hard time justifying. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna attach the Fighting Fury Belt to the Jolteon. I really, really, really wish, I mean, even if I end, I help my opponent. That's just crazy. That is just nuts. And I have to. I generally have to end and help my opponent. How unfair is that? Okay, I do get another Max Elixir, but no energy. Man, this is just ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, so I get to Crystal Ray once more, and then, well, maybe my opponent, maybe I can confuse my opponent. Gonna Flash Ray to trick my opponent into thinking I used Glaceon's attack. So maybe he will retreat into Raikou and attack and confuse himself. I mean, not confuse himself, but I mean, think that I used Crystal Ray. I don't know. I mean, the attack name, he only saw the damage, and the damage is exactly the same. So maybe I can use that to my advantage to play some mind games. That would be really cool. That would genuinely be really, really cool if I could do that. If I could pull that off. I doubt I will be able to get away with that. I'm sure my opponent got some message that he can attack me. He's gonna Sycamore. Perhaps, I don't know. He's probably looking for a Garbodor. He did discard 1 early on, so maybe he doesn't have the second one. It might be priced. I really want to see him retreat into Manectric. I really, really, really want to see him retreat into Manectric. He gets the Ultra Ball, so he will find the Garbodor. So that puts Mew out of commission. Wow, he actually goes for Pikachu. So maybe his other Garbodor is priced. That would be best case scenario. I really, really want to see him retreat. He did notice. He did notice. Damn, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate, guys. I genuinely thought I could have tricked him. So, I can still use Mew, right? To attack. So, and I will KO Manectric, so that's good. Because he didn't power up the other Mega Manectric. I'm actually going to N once again to get rid of whatever resources he might have in his current hand. I do need an energy though. If I cannot find an energy, then I'm completely lost. I do find the energy, thankfully. And okay, so gonna power up Mew. Really didn't want to, but I don't have a choice. And I'm going to Ultra Ball away the Lysander and the other Ultra Ball. Not gonna find any Pokemon. I mean, Regice would be nice if Raikou does go down. But no, I'm not gonna grab anything. I'm just gonna Shaman here. Shaman does... Oh, wow, I thought I played Shaman with Garbodor in play, but no. No Garbodor in play just yet. Running a bit short on energy, which I'm really surprised about. I'm gonna grab the Super Rod to exactly put 3 energy back. I really need energy, and I feel like I need consecutive ends in order to get myself back potentially into this game. I really doubt I will be able to, but maybe he will whiff an energy and not be able to damage me. Who knows? I'm gonna Flash right here, get the KO on the Mega, get myself 2 prize cards. But if he does have the energy, then I'm gonna be out of luck for next turn, because I would need to find my fourth Max Elixir. He actually does have the energy, so I mean, what can you do here? I mean, if there's one deck that will be able to deal with Mew and that has enough useful attacking options in basic Pokemon and evolved Pokemon, is Mega Manectric, definitely, because Manectric is a really good attacker. Raikou is an incredible attacker, and he can alternate as he needs. He can alternate between Pokemon as he feels necessary in order to beat me. And Jolteon's damage output is really low, and there's really not much I can do right now. He just keeps powering up Raikou, with now has 6 energy. I'm gonna attach an energy to Jolteon. I guess I'll attach this to Seismitoad, doesn't really matter. I'm gonna try and find the last Max Elixir, but doesn't really make a difference. I guess I'll grab Jirachi. It might buy me a turn. He actually says GG, meaning he has a Lysander to beat me. So I'm going to end him just because he had GG preemptively. But there's really not much I can do at the moment, unless I find the Max Elixir here with my last Trainer's Mail, and then with the Max Elixir I find an energy. Then maybe I can buy myself a turn with Jirachi. I do find an energy, so if I buy myself a turn with Jirachi, I really don't accomplish too much. I generally don't. I mean, best case scenario, he doesn't have any more energy to attach to Manectric EX, to the Mega Manectric EX, and I'm able to 3-hit KO him before he finds an energy. I guess that's a small ray of hope. He has 1 and 6, 7, 8 energy. 8 energy so far. He finds an Ultra Ball, so he will be able to Shaman here. He even had an AC to reduce Shaman, so that was, I mean, I'm guessing he knew Shaman was there. But yeah, at this point with his deck so thin, I would need for like 6 energy of his to be prized, and that's obviously not the case. Quite obviously not the case here. If I had a way to heal Jolteon, then maybe. And there's the Lysander for Shaman, and that's the game. So he even had the extra energy, of course. I mean, there was still a big chance that he had energy, and yeah, 2 losses in today's video, unfortunately. Not much I could have done there. One really bad matchup in Mega Manectric, and then also the Vespiquen and Valplum deck got the turn 1 luck. So no matter that I had Glaceon EX, he was always going to... Well, I wasn't able to get Glaceon EX. If I managed to find Glaceon, I think I would have won that game. but I wasn't able to, my supporters didn't cooperate, and the loss happened. So thank you guys so much for watching. This deck is definitely not the end-all be-all deck that some of you might have thought at the beginning of the week. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow, hopefully, for more TCG action in Spanish. Thank you guys, and bye-bye.